You're listening to Random Fit with hosts Wendy Batts and Ken Miller, winner of a Gold Markham Award for Digital Media.
How you look at the body is what I'm always curious about when I talk to you.
Well, what has been, and I think one of the things when I first started is I always felt that there was a missing sort of piece, right? There was this really local view, and then there was this really global view, but at that point, nobody had really defined clearly where the gap was in between, and that to me was a key to really really good programming. Let's put it that way, right? So we had one aspect where you could have people doing all this remedial stuff, and then you had the other aspect where people were being progressed way too soon. And I always felt that there was this really key part that we didn't understand, both from a programming standpoint, but because we didn't understand the functional anatomy part of it. And when, with the sort of the look of how the whole myofascial continuity aspect came into play a little bit, that really helped with some of the connections. But a lot of it was some trial and error and figuring out, and hypotheses or theories that myself had, or I grabbed from somebody else, and tried to, how it was that missing piece was in the middle always to me when it came to how we're going to really make a sequential progression in the way that we address the body. And then I sometimes I describe it as playing chess versus checkers, right? And if we can, we're thinking ahead, and we're thinking about a little bit more three-dimensionality, and kind of what are the consequences of what I'm doing beyond the obvious. And that's where I feel like it's always helped me kind of put together exercise programs for the types of clients that I was seeing that could be effective.
Awesome. So to piggyback off of that, and again, Anthony, I'm learning more about you each and every day. I know your main focus in your programming, and what I've seen, you deal a lot with quote pain or pain management in your program design, and that I know that there's not like just one program that you can give all. I mean, that's one of the things about us as professionals. We have to really individualize a program. So with all of that being said, how do you, if you have somebody that comes in, and especially within our scope of practice, we always say, well, we can't deal with pain, but we can work with discomfort, knowing what's leading to quote the pain of the individual. How do you work around that with, the different scopes of practice? How do you do that within Function First? And how have you put these programs together to really help people?
Yeah, well, if you don't mind, I push back a little bit on that. We can work with people with pain. We just can't claim that we're treating or diagnosing them, right, within our professional boundaries. So there's a lot of people, and that's actually the type of clientele that I've worked with for years, who've really already kind of exhausted the traditional, all the traditional avenues, whether it's been and licensed professionals in general, but they may have gone, combine it with massage and other interventions that haven't worked. They still want to be able to live productive lives. And one of the only ways that they can do that is to get on an exercise program and move better, right? And so as long as we're not claiming to treat, and this is something I've been very outspoken about, is like, if a client comes in to see me for lower back pain, I'm not grabbing the lower back pain client or exercises, right? I'm looking at basically how they move, and then how can we use some of the neuroscience around the coaching aspect of helping them better understand pain and the difference between chronic and acute pain, and knowing and sharing with them, I'm not a physical therapist, I'm not a licensed professional, I'm going to give you exercises, and what we're going to do is help you move better, remove mechanical stress from your body, which gives your body an opportunity to come up with some novel movements, new strategies around things, expand that movement catalog that you have now, and help you move past what's going on without ever claiming or